What is going on, guys? This time I'm doing another build of Windows 10 Pro Insider Preview. This is build 10,166, or other terms, build 10166. Thanks to Tony for being kind enough to let me test out this build. This build is supposed to have some more bug fixes according to Microsoft. And yes, I'm going to be giving a shout out to a YouTuber and a friend of mine named Octavio Guyton. And another shout out to Tony for letting me explore Windows 10 on his computer. And for those of you who are just watching, we're going to also be a little short demonstration of some new features of the user interface, or any typical changes. Nothing's really changed in system properties. They just got that flat UI like Windows 8 does. Tell they gave the icons a whole new update from one of their earlier builds. The recycle bin kind of looks something like the recycle bin icon you see on Windows 95. And there are some good things with Windows 10 and some bad things, because it's going to have mixed opinions. You could search the web through this little search box. Let's see if I'm not interested. Probably wants me to set up Cortana and put in his name. Because he upgraded from the previous build. You can even ask Cortana to search for stuff on the internet. I'm gonna just type in something random. But as you see, it brings up Microsoft's Edge browser, which uses Bing for the default search. Almost every Microsoft product uses Bing. Let's see what version of Microsoft Edge are we using. 20.10166.0.0. This was the browser that's supposed to be replacing Internet Explorer. While it was under development, it was known as Project Spartan. And one neat thing about Windows 10 is the task view. You can switch in between from one app to the other. Let's say you got something that you want to hide from somebody on your computer that you want to act like it's nothing there, right? And no programs are running. You want to make it look like there's nothing on the desktop. All you just do is click New Desktop. It's going to create another desktop, and it's like a whole clean desktop. You can even switch back from one desktop to the other. And you close out desktops as well. And you got your typical Windows Store, which was already introduced in Windows 8. But this is a later revision of the Windows Store for Windows 10. But it's nothing really that exciting. All it is something you can download apps and buy apps. Let's see, you got capabilities for a touch keyboard here. Like your notification action center. Well, actually somewhat improved. And there's even an option to do tablet mode or airplane mode. Got your volume control. And yes, the sound works. Got your Wi-Fi connections and the network setting to airplane mode, and your battery options, and all other notifications like your OneDrive, and you can even use the microphone to talk to Cortana in Windows. This is the new one. I was just showing me somehow you can do more apps quickly. And you can like pin apps. And the do task start menu is pretty much customizable. Let me demonstrate that. If it'll let me cooperate. You can even make this start menu full screen to make it like the start screen in Windows 8 and Windows 8.1. Currently there's no apps pinned. You got quick, short, easy access shortcuts. With the new start menu, you got your File Explorer, known as Windows Explorer. And you got the new improved control panel, which takes a little time getting used to. It's nothing really that exciting here. And there's one thing I noticed in the home versions of Windows 10 that's going to be coming up. You won't be able to delay or disable updates, because the home version of Windows 10 will be is mandatory to have the updates. But the only way you can delay or disable updates if you have the Pro version of Windows 10. There's not a whole lot of settings for Windows updates, which I'm trying to point that out. You still got your typical Windows product activation, which Microsoft realizes that people can still get away with getting around their activation system. Let's see if they got anything improved for the networking settings. And what airplane mode does is it'll disable any type of wireless communication. And I don't know why they have settings for dial-up, because no one hardly ever uses dial-up. You got Ethernet settings and virtual private networking settings, and settings for a proxy. But if you want to use like a custom proxy, you have to set one up manually or get one from your internet provider. The text-to-speech voice has got Microsoft Mark,
You selected Microsoft Mark Mobile as the default voice.
I wonder whatever happened to Microsoft Anna and Microsoft Sam. I'd rather have Microsoft Sam, because it was so fun messing around with Microsoft Sam's voice. Going my raffle copter goes swah swah swah. Let's open up Specky and see what the specs on this computer. Yeah, it's a little laggy, but it's pretty fast for a new operating system on using 4 gigabytes of DDR3 RAM, and that was a 500 gigabyte Hitachi hard drive. But it's using the default drivers in Windows, and we're using some slow Intel Celeron at 1.4 gigahertz, and this is a Sandy Bridge CPU. I'd probably replace that CPU with like a Core 2 Duo or any dual core CPU that uses the Sandy Bridge chip. Let's do a little stress test with Microsoft's Edge. Let's see how it can handle YouTube. Let me find a random video. The most annoyances about YouTube is advertisements. Let's watch a little UXWVL and see how it handles it.
Abundance. Everybody wants, but not everybody gets. I just bought this Lamborghini. I have a house in Hollywood.
There we go.
Hello YouTubers, this is UXWVille again. And tonight I'm going to show
Thank
you
goodness
something
for
very
AdBlock Plus.
I was out on a computer service call tonight, and lo and behold, I came away.
Let me pause the video before we finish stress testing out YouTube. Tell it's the user interface is starting to look a little like Google Chrome. And I have a mixed opinion. I don't really like this flat UI much in Windows. Yeah, I find it doesn't really look that attractive. It just looks like some toy. And it looks like that Microsoft tried to copy Apple from when Apple had released iOS 7, which in later versions of Mac OS X, because they were the first operating systems to utilize the flat looking style icons and user interface, flat menus. Not really a big fan of this flat UI. So let me go back and stress test the video instead of rambling on. And watch a little bit of some UXWVille.
Free computer. Another one of those older Dell machines. But hey, they're tough as nails. They keep going about forever. And will at least try to go again even if you flood one of them. But this one's got a different problem. Well, this isn't a bad looking little system. Dimension V350. Never heard of that one before. When you open it up and you begin to smell it, you realize that for basically the entire, wow, it's 10 years old. But for the entire 10 years that it's been around, it's been in a chain smoker's office. And you can see it. No offense to anybody who smokes, but when you don't, this kind of thing is icky. You see the cables are yellowed. You can see some of the orange fuzz on the power supply vents. There's probably orange fuzz on that heatsink under there. And you can see the discoloration in the PCI slots on the motherboard. Anyway, this computer was given to me. It probably works just fine. But really, it smells bad enough that I haven't wanted to power it up just yet. So I'm going to do something. With the help of the Ultimate Computer and K-Car Repair Twiddler's Toolkit, I'm going to take this computer apart and I'm going to give it a bath. Oh yeah, look at that. I think it could be time for all of us to get together and say, ew. And there we go. It looks a lot less like a computer now. But there's one thing we want to do before it ever gets wet. Take this battery out, because otherwise we'll have a disaster. Because with that battery in there, certain portions of the motherboard are powered all the time. So basically, all of this stuff, with the exception of the MacBook back there, is going to go in the dishwasher. Although, there are certain things like this, even though it's a Mac Store hard drive, it doesn't belong in the dishwasher. Now you need to play dominoes with it later. Get a whole bunch of its friends, stack them up, and watch the fun. It's really a tough call as to whether or not these should. This is the floppy drive. This is the CD-ROM. But they're gungy enough that I'm just going to throw them in there. And if that breaks them, I've got extras. So there it is, everybody. The motherboard, the cables, expansion cards, processor, front panel, air duct, fan, floppy drive, all that stuff. Gonna go for a bath. Now the case itself and the side panel, both of those were definitely too big and cumbersome to get in the dishwasher, so I'm just going to have to wash those by hand. And yes, in case anyone was wondering, this is a messy kitchen. And a messy kitchen is a happy kitchen. This kitchen is so messy, it's delirious. Alright, got our soap in there. Now don't tell anybody, this is my mom's dishwasher. Shut the door, this is your last chance to stop watching. And because this has been a nasty computer, we're going to do the heavy wash. But we're not going to do high temp wash because some of this lightweight thermoplastic in here might melt. I've had that happen a time or two with keyboards. Here we go. And for the extra special jobs, down here in the basement we've got a set of good old-fashioned laundry tubs. And nothing beats a set of good old-fashioned functional laundry tubs. And here's the dishwasher running upstairs. So it's doing its job.
Yeah, you could tell the video is a bit laggy. But I noticed these newer web browsers that with newer versions of Windows got HTML5 integrated, and plus they're starting to slowly move away from Adobe Flash Player. And I know the bad thing about Flash Player, it sometimes likes to crash a lot. So that's enough for right now. And hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a little basic demonstration. Not the greatest, but hope you guys enjoyed it like I said, and thanks for watching.